Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon, or whatever time you're watching this. It's good anyway. Sorry about the flailing camera. I'm trying to get it to balance so it actually points at me, unlike the last one. Whoa. Looks like that's about as good as we're gonna get it. Anyway, hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you... Well, if you can't, that's too bad. You're not missing much anyway. Anyhow, back to our Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Dog Days edition. Okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. Sunday. Well, now I'm definitely staying indoors for the rest of the summer. Mom had a house meeting last night and said money is tight this year and we can't afford to go to the beach, which means no more family holiday. That really stinks. I was actually looking forward to going to the beach this summer, not because I like the ocean and the sand and all of that, because I don't. I realized a long time ago that all the world's fish and turtles and whales go to the bathroom right there in the ocean. And I seem to be the only person who's bothered by this. I never thought of that before either. My brother Roderick likes to tease me because he thinks I'm afraid of the waves, but I'm telling you that's not it at all. Anyway, I was looking forward to going to the beach because I'm finally tall enough to go on the cranium shaker, which is this really awesome ride that's on the boardwalk. Roderick's been on the cranium shaker at least 100 times, and he says you can't call yourself a man until you ride it. Mom said maybe if we save our pennies, we can go back to the beach next year. Then she said we'd still do a lot of fun stuff as a family, and one day we'll look back on this as the best summer ever. Well now, I only have two things to look forward to this summer. One is my birthday, and the other is when the last Lil Cutie comic runs in the paper. I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but Lil Cutie is the worst comic ever. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here's what ran in the paper today. Daddy, is rain just God sweating? But here's the thing, even though I hate Lil Cutie, I can't stop myself from reading it, and Dad can't either. I guess we just like seeing how bad it is. Me, look at this garbage. Dad, gimme that. Lil Cutie has been around for at least 30 years, and it's written by this guy named Bob Post. I've heard Lil Cutie is based on Bob's son when he was a little boy. Bob Post's son, if I eat this green bean, will its mommy and daddy be sad? If I eat this green bean, will its mommy and daddy be sad? Bob Post thinks, ching! But I guess now that the real Lil Cutie is all grown up, his dad's having trouble coming up with new material. A couple of weeks ago, the newspaper announced that Bob Post is retiring and the final Lil Cutie is gonna be printed in August. Ever since then, me and Dad have been counting down the days until the last comic runs. When the last Lil Cutie comes out, me and Dad will have to throw a party because something like that deserves a serious celebration. Monday. Even though me and Dad see eye to eye on the Lil Cutie, there are still a lot of things we butt heads over. The big issue between us right now is my sleep schedule. During the summer, I like to stay up all night watching TV or playing video games, and then sleep through the morning. But Dad gets kind of crabby if I'm still in bed when he gets home from work. Lately, Dad's been calling me at noon to make sure I'm not still asleep. So, I keep a phone by my bed and use my best wide-awake voice when he calls. I think Dad's jealous because he has to go to work while the rest of us get to kick back and take it easy. Every day. But if he's gonna be all grumpy about it, he should just become a teacher or a snowplow driver or have one of those jobs where you get to take summer off. Mom's not really helping improve Dad's mood either. She calls him at work about 5 times a day with updates on everything that's going on around the house. Mom, guess what Manny did in the potty today? Guess! Dad got Mom a new camera for Mother's Day, and lately she's been taking lots of pictures. I think it's because she feels guilty about not keeping up on the family photo album. When my older brother Roderick was a baby, Mom was totally on top of things. There are 4 photos labeled Roderick's first time trying peas, Roderick's second time trying peas, Roderick's first steps. Kaboom! Roderick fell over. Once I came along, I guess Mom got busy, so that point there are lots of gaps in our official family history. There are 4 photos labeled Welcome Gregory to the world. Taking Gregory home from the hospital. Gregory's 6th birthday party. Gregory's first day of middle school. I've learned that photo albums aren't an accurate record of what happens in your life anyway. Last year, when we were at the beach, Mom bought a bunch of fancy seashells at a gift shop, and later on, I saw her bury them in the sand for Manny to discover. Mom, look at what you found, Manny! Well, I wish I hadn't seen that, because it made me re-evaluate my whole childhood. Photo of Greg, labeled Gregory really digs seashells. Today, Mom said I was looking shaggy, so she told me she was taking me to get a haircut. But I never would have agreed to get my hair cut if I knew that Mom was taking me to Bombshell's Beauty Salon, which is where Mom and Grandma get their hair cut. I have to say, though, the whole beauty salon experience wasn't that bad. First of all, they have tables all over the place so you can watch a show while you're waiting to get your haircut. Second, they have lots of tabloids, those newspapers you see in the checkout lines at grocery stores. Mom says tabloids are full of lies, but I think there's some really important stuff in those things. Grandma is always buying tabloids, even though Mom doesn't approve. A few weeks ago, Grandma wasn't answering her phone, so Mom got worried and drove over to see to see if she was okay. Grandma was fine, but she wasn't picking up her phone because of something she'd read. Grandma: cordless telephones erase the memory of the elderly. But when Mom asked Grandma where she got her information, Grandma said, Grandma, the New York Times. Grandma's dog, Henry, died recently, and ever since then, Grandma has had a lot of time on her hands. So Mom's dealing with stuff like the cordless phone thing a lot these days. Whenever Mom finds any tabloids at Grandma's house, she takes them home and throws them in the garbage. Last week, I fished one out of the trash and read it in my bedroom. I'm glad I did. I found out that North America will be underwater within 6 months, so that kind of takes the pressure off me to do well in school. I had a long wait at the beauty salon, but I didn't really mind. I got to read my horoscope and look at pictures of movie stars without their makeup. So I was definitely entertained. When I got my hair cut, I found out the best thing about the beauty salon, which is the gossip. The ladies who work there know the dirt on just about everyone in town. The hairdresser. And then Marlene says to Vanessa, if you're gonna get up in my face, you'd better be ready to back it up. Me. Unfortunately, Mom came to pick me up right in the middle of a story about Mr. Peppers and his new wife, who's 20 years younger than him. Hopefully my hair will grow out fast so I can come back and hear the rest of the story. I think Mom's starting to regret taking me to get my hair cut the other day. The ladies at Bombshells introduced me to soap operas, and now I'm totally hooked.
Messages. Now. Steve Wedloffer. To you and Karen Hedrick. Audio message.
Totally hooked. Soap opera. Oh, someone's at my house. Soap opera actor. Hello! But Marissa, I I love you. Me. Girlfriend, you can do that much better than him. Yesterday, I was in the middle of my show, and Mom told me I had to turn off the TV and find something else to do. I could tell there was no use arguing with her, so I called Rowley and invited him over. When Rowley got to my house, we went straight to Roderick's room in the basement. Roderick is off playing with his band, Loaded Diaper, and whenever he's away, I like to go through his stuff and see if he can find anything interesting. The best thing I found, Roderick's junk drawer this time around, was one of those little souvenir picture keychains you get at the beach. If you look into it, you see a picture of Roderick with some girl. I don't know how Roderick got that picture, because I've been with him on every single family holiday, and if I'd seen him with that girl, I definitely would have remembered her. I showed the picture to Rowley, but I had to hold the keychain because he was getting all grabby. We dug around some more, and then we found a horror movie. Hello, You're Dead, at the bottom of the Roderick's drawer. I can't believe our luck. Neither one of us had actually seen a horror movie before, so this was a real big find. I asked Mom if Rowley could spend the night, and she said yes. I made sure I asked Mom when Dad was out of the room, because Dad doesn't like it when I have sleepovers on a work night. Last summer, Rowley spent the night at my house, and we slept in the basement. I made sure that Rowley took the bed that was closest to the furnace room, because that room really freaks me out. I figured if anything came out of there in the middle of the night, it would grab Rowley first, and I'd have a head start second to get away. At about 1 in the morning, we heard something in the furnace room that scared the living daylights out of us. It sounded like a little ghost girl or something, and it said, "I'm hiding. Can you find me?" Me and Rowley practically trampled each other to death trying to get up the basement stairs. We burst into Mom and Dad's room, and I told them our house was haunted and we had to move immediately. Dad didn't seem convinced, and he went down to the basement and walked right into the furnace room. Me and Rowley stayed about 10 feet back. I was pretty sure Dad wasn't going to come out of there alive. I heard some rustling and a few bumps, and I was ready to make a run for it. But a few seconds later, he came back out with one of Manny's toys, a doll named Hide and Seek Harry. Hide and Seek Harry. Peekaboo! Last night, me and Rowley waited for Mom and Dad to go to bed. Then we watched our movie. Technically, I was the only one who watched it, because Rowley had his eyes and ears covered the entire time. The movie was about this muddy hand that goes around the country killing people. And the last person who sees the hand is always the next victim. The special effects were really cheesy, and I wasn't even scared until the very end. That's when the twist came. After the muddy hand strangled its last victim, it came crawling straight at the screen, and then the screen went black. At first, I was a little bit confused, but then I realized it meant the next victim was gonna be me. I turned the TV off, and then I described the whole movie to Rowley from beginning to end. Well, I must have done a pretty good job telling the story, because Rowley got even more freaked out than I was. I knew we couldn't go to Mom and Dad this time because they'd ground me if they found out we watched a horror movie, but we didn't feel safe in the basement, so we spent the rest of the night in the upstairs bathroom with the lights on. I just wish we had managed to stay awake the whole night, because when Dad found us in the morning, it wasn't a pretty scene. Dad wanted to know what was going on, and I had to fess up. Dad told Mom, so now I'm just waiting to hear how long I'm gonna be grounded for. But to be honest with you, I'm a lot more worried about this muddy hand than any punishment Mom can dream up. I thought about it though, and I realized there's only so much ground a muddy hand can cover in a day. So, hopefully, that means I have a little while longer to live.
Voiceover off. YouTube. Back. Button. Camera. Stop recording. Button.